Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Wander and Prepare. Today I'm very excited to show you a knife from one of my favorite company, and that is Reiff Knives, and this is one of their newest releases, the F3. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So here is the knife. So super small, very EDC friendly, but as with any Reiff knife, it's got that super thick handle. And what is so good about the handle, if you can see that palm swell right there, that's what makes their handles so incredibly comfortable. But just to show you, it is a full 4-finger grip. My hand's a size large glove and just amazing in the hand. So I've often called Reiff Knives a knife that you could pass down, an heirloom knife, sorry, lost my words there for a minute, and I absolutely consider them to be so. And even though this is a small EDC size fixed knife, it is no different. When you hold a Reiff knife in the hand, like, it just feels unlike any other, and the refined feel of their knives are just absolutely incredible. Like, for comfort wise, I've never held a knife any more comfortable than a Reiff knife. So they are just absolutely incredible. So let's talk about this one. So this is the F3. This is in Magna Cut. This is the new version, by the way. So this one's an all stonewash finish that Reiff is kind of known for, but they actually came out with a two-tone finish. So check that one out on the website. I checked this morning. There are still some available at the time of filming this, but amazing little knife. Great Kydex sheath, good retention to it. So it pops off really easy. It's got a belt clip. Not a huge fan of the belt clip. I'm actually going to source a deep carry clip to put with this, because this is an absolute perfect EDC size knife. I mean, just to show you, it literally is just right around the size of the palm of the hand. Like, this knife was meant to be carried in the pocket for me, not on a belt. So I'm looking for a leather sheath and see if I can find one and start pocket carrying this one and see how it does on the go. But super excited to get it on the table. So let's talk about Reiff Knives just a little bit. And so here's their logo, and they have a saying, carry beyond limits. And it is an absolute true statement with Reiff Knives. They are absolutely incredible, and as you see there, they are guaranteed for life. So I actually own a Reiff F3. That was my very first grail knife, if you will. And it was the outdoor knife that, just after all the research I did, that was the one knife that I'm just like, I have to have. Like, that's the one that I know this is going to be the best. And it happens to be in CPM 3V, and I love that knife. But it is a 5-inch knife. So I am very excited to see how a smaller EDC size, full size handle, nice grip size, how it's going to perform. So let's get the box out of the way, get the sheath out of the way, and let's go ahead and see how it does. So we're going to start with some paper, see how it does with that. Did I say this is in Magna Cut? So just in case I didn't say that. I think we can agree it is plenty sharp. Nothing wrong with the sharpness of this knife. Alright, let's get that paper aside. Now let's see how it does with some cardboard. Alright, so standard duty cardboard, but let's see how it does straight up and down. Super easy. See how it does with some side cuts. Man, going through that like butter. See how thin of a shaving I can get. Look at that. That is absolutely incredible. Alright, down a few more times. Now let's take it, let's put it on the table, and let's see how it does going through like that. Super easy. Let's see how that tip does. Alright, got through it most of the way. Let's try that one more time. I think that was me, not the knife. Alright, a little bit on that tip, but I think it's just me not putting enough pressure down. There you go. Just on that edge there. So, no problem whatsoever with the cardboard. Alright, Let's see how it does with the toe strap. So 24,000 pound toe strap, about the heaviest duty task I think you could possibly do with a EDC style knife. Let's see how it does. I mean, like it was nothing. Now, most knives can get through that cut. Let's see how it does on the table. I mean, I gotta do it one more time. Let's do it one more time. Alright, that's me this time. But man, cutting through that so crazy easy. Pretty clean cut too. So making easy work of that. Alright, don't know why it's going to struggle with this, but this is a little cheap nylon rope. Let's see how it does. So, I always talk about this pet peeve of a knife of mine when I have my hands on the grip and I push it down. So I literally have from right there where it's touching the table all the way to there that I can actually use the edge. So when you see it not grabbing those little fibers like that and not cutting all the way through it, that's why I'm trying to cut on a flat surface. It has nothing to do with the knife, just kind of a pet peeve of mine. But as you see, you just kind of roll it, goes through that with absolute ease. Alright, so now let's look at the Titan Survivor cord. So as you see, it's got a metal snare in there, and that's what makes this so hard to cut. So let's first cut it like this. Cut it a little bit slower, make sure I don't pull that snare out. Yeah, got through it really easy there. No issues whatsoever. Alright, snare is still in there. Now let's put it down on the table. See how it cuts. I mean, like it's nothing. Felt that snare in that one, but got through it just fine. Alright, so let's look at the plastic clothesline. Don't see how it's going to struggle with that one at all. And it definitely doesn't. Goes through it absolutely easy. Alright, get those things out of the way. Let's keep stepping it up. So this next one is going to be a rubber fuel line, and it is reinforced. See that little reinforcement there? And you can see it on the outside of the sheeting there. So see how it does with this. Absolutely easy. Let's see how it cuts going this way. There we go, get a flat surface there. Don't think that had anything to do with the knife. That was just me not getting a good clean cut on that. So let's cut it one more time. Alright, now let's do that again. There you go. Absolute ease. Alright. Before we do the ropes, let's go ahead and do the zip ties. So, lightest duty zip tie I could find. No trouble whatsoever. Oh, I was still cutting, didn't even realize it cut. It went through so easy. Super easy, no challenge. Step it up, still a standard duty zip tie. Absolutely no trouble whatsoever. Goes through that with ease. Alright, now we're getting a little bit heavy duty. No trouble though. Goes through it with ease. Alright, second heaviest duty zip tie I have. Double reinforced, but not as thick as the last one. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. A little bit to get through that one, but if you just get the pressure there, it cuts right through it. Alright, heaviest duty zip tie I have. See how it does. Absolute ease. Now let's see if I can cut through this one. I'm gonna have to put a lot of pressure here, so bear with me. And absolute ease, other than the thickness of it. All right, so now let's get these ropes. So this is just some standard jute twine. Don't think it's going to struggle with this at all. Only challenge is, again, how much of that edge I can get. So just curious to see how I do with this. But I don't think it's going to be the knife, it's just going to be the size of the knife, if you will. All right. I think I undersold it there because I went through that with relative ease. All right, polypropylene rope. If you heard me talk about this one, got this one at Tractor Supply, and when I was there, I didn't have a knife that could cut it, nor did anybody in the store. They actually had to use a chain cutter to cut through this. So let's see how this little 3-inch Reiff knife goes through it. Gonna have to turn it a little bit. All right, there we go. Absolute ease. Took a little trouble getting through it, but this rope has been one of the hardest things I've ever had on the cutting table. All right, so this is definitely an outdoor knife. So let's just see how it does, kind of doing some little feather sticking. Make some super fine curls. I'm not great at feather sticking, but as you can see, it makes my lack of skill look pretty easy. Super fine little feathers there. All right. So I said when I first started this that I was not going to baton with anything that was less than 4 inches, so I'm not going to do that today. Although this is a super thick Magna Cut knife, there is no reason whatsoever that you should not be able to baton with this, but not going to do so. But I also said that if it is an outdoor knife, and while Reiff, their logo is a wolf, so it's kind of meant to be an outdoor knife in my opinion, and because of that, in my opinion, it should have the ability to start a fire. So go ahead and get my fire starter. Tore open just a little bit here. All right, put that right there. Let's first just see if it will throw sparks at all. No issue whatsoever there. All right, let's see if I can get it start a fire for me here. There you go. So definitely has the ability to start a fire. So there's a reason why I say Reiff Knives is my number one, that if I could only carry one brand, Reiff would be it. Hands down, some of the best quality knives out there. That said, they are not cheap. So this is an EDC size version. This is the 3-inch, the F3, and it is $265. So larger ones go up from there, but not a bad price compared to what a lot of knives cost these days, but it is not a budget knife. This is an heirloom quality knife. And if you ever get a chance to hold one, you will know exactly why I say that. The fit, finish, feel of a Reiff knife is absolutely incredible. And again, there's just nothing these knives can't do. So super excited. Really appreciate Stu sending this one out to me. And go check them out. So they just launched a couple weeks ago now. But check them out. I think they still have some available at the time of this filming. And really good quality knife. But check out that two-tone one. That one's a really cool one. But check it out. Reiff Knives. So guys, just remember, as we're out there wandering and preparing, let's make sure we do so by faith and not by sight. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much. Again, the Reiff F3.